Street me 3-5, everything live, baby. Press box party, send us a party in New York City, baby.
A great Wednesday night to you. Welcome to the Press Box Party. I'm Antoine. You're listening to Stream 35 Radio on MixLR. You might even be watching on YouTube. Just gone live if you guys want to check it out on YouTube. Just type in Stream 35 Radio. No spaces. And you can check it out. Of course, we're doing some of the stuff remote tonight. It's been kind of the new procedure. In addition, make sure you follow our Twitter. It's at Stream35 Radio. You can keep up with us. Hit us up with any topics or stories you might want to cover. I am broadcasting live from Studio 35 in the heart of Manhattan. And it's just after 7 p.m. Eastern. And, yeah, we're rolling here. Chilly night in New York City still. And I've got to check if we're live now on YouTube. We just got there live on YouTube. Of course, this is kind of new thing we're doing, but if you want to check it out, I know you guys want to interact with us. Of course, if you're listening on MixLR, you can interact through the chat. Also, YouTube has its own chat area on there. We are live there. Just go ahead and, like I said, search Press Box Party. You can also call us. That's the main way to interact with the show. We've got a phone number. It's 917-477-7737. We like to interact with our listeners. It helps make the show better, so definitely drop us a call if you can. If you can't and you're listening live, then hit us on the chat. Either way, we'll address you, take questions, talk about topics if you've got anything. Great to have you here wherever you're listening. Before we get to it, I got to introduce my co-host. He is currently in his home studio, also in Manhattan. We hope to have him back here in the studio soon. He hails from Gary, Indiana. He's a New York City-based comedian, a killer mixologist. I got my man, you might know him as Jay Craig. Welcome, Jonathan Craig. What is up, Mr. Craig?
Yo, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day, man. It's a good day for me as a bartender to be off.
Yeah, it's 2 St. Patty days in a row you haven't had to work, right?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not mad at all, man. I know some people that's upset, but I'm not.
Yeah. Well, big week, generally when times are normal. Of course, today's St. Patty's Day. And then, I was out and about, definitely walking my dog a couple times today, and you didn't see any drunks at all walking around. I walked by a couple of bars, and they were empty. And, New York City, this is a big day. We could talk a little more about that. We're going to have a special guest coming in, Mr. Mac, the Doorman. He's been on before. He's going to come in later, drop in. He wants to talk about some of the things he's dealt with St. Patrick's Day. Of course, with tenants, I guess you never know. But we'll get a story or two out of him. And, it's interesting times. I mean, you think, things are starting to get back to normal, but definitely in the New York streets, it was far from normal. Yeah. But you know what else is this week?
What's that?
March Madness.
Oh, yeah.
And that also was taking a year off. So, this is big because we haven't had this in 2 years, March Madness. No. Believe it or not. Virginia's still the champs, even though they won it 2 years ago. And I was going to play the March Madness song, but, now that we're on YouTube, I don't want the video to get flagged. And the NCAA.
Yeah, now that we big time, they be coming for it.
Well, they make a lot of money, the NCAA.
Oh, ridiculous.
A shitload of money, right? Oh. At the expense of children, young children. Yeah. And they do very well. And our first story we've got some sports stories. I know now with March Madness starting, obviously sports is going to pick up a little here. But the NCAA, the famous money-making machine known as the NCAA, is challenging a group of Virginia urologists who trademarked the phrase vasectomy mayhem. Of course, they call it March Madness. I guess you could say it's March Mayhem, maybe, in some cases. But the NCAA is filing a trademark complaint on this, claiming it's too close to March Madness.
Vasectomy mayhem is too close.
Too close to March Madness.
In what way?
I mean, you tell me. These guys are villains. They don't mess around.
Just being a little greedy on this one.
What's that?
Come on, vasectomy madness. I'm not confused. Like, oh, you know what? Oh man, that makes me want to go watch some college hoops.
You know that's a big thing, though. A lot of people do schedule their vasectomies. And, of course, a lot of people are working from home now, so I don't think it's as much. But in regular times, it gives an adult male a chance to have a very valid excuse to watch the first weekend of the tournament uninterrupted, not having to fake sick. And this is a big thing. So
Really?
I don't know if it's happening as much right now with COVID, because I think a lot of people working from home are just going to watch the games and also say they're working. Or, you can work it. You can work it and have a screen on. People do it at the office. But yeah, they're on top of it. It reminds me of the NFL with Super Bowl, making like churches not being able to have Super Bowl parties because that's and things like that. So, of course, the NCAA is just they're glad to be back this year. Let's put it that way. They lost a lot of loot last year.
They're like that phrase belongs to us. All of them. Anything mayhem, madness,
Yeah.
chaos. Have you seen any of the videos for the commercials?
I have not. And of course, this was in Virginia. But I know in times I've heard of people using the phrase, similar phrases before. I think they just finally got fed up with it. And I know they promote it. And yeah, again, it's ingenious. If you're going to get it done, what a better time to get it done. I'm telling you, it's the biggest. I know the Super Bowl is
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, I know the Super Bowl is the single biggest sporting event, but this is serious because it's multiple weekends, and it's my favorite event of the year. I was really bummed last year when it didn't go.
Yeah, to reschedule your vasectomy appointment to 2023.
If I was getting one, I would have felt a little robbed, and I don't know if you could have rescheduled. Think of the people. That's a very good point you brought up. Think of the people last year that did it.
They're like, nope, sir, you're still on schedule.
Yeah. That can't. I mean, you got to plan these things ahead. Listen to the Press Box Party here, 917-477-7737. If you want to check in with us. We've got another NCAA story. NCAA related with hoops. Did you see the news? Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony being involved in a developmental league?
Yeah, I saw that, man. They want to pay these kids about $100,000 a year, from 16-year-olds to 18-year-old.
Yeah,
like they do overseas.
Right.
It's a game changer right here, man.
Yeah, this would pay young kids right out of high school at least $100,000. There would be kids that are trying to get drafted. Of course, you can't get drafted in the NBA if you're under 19. So we've seen some guys, instead of opting for that NCAA route, going overseas.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to deal with the beast of the NCAA, you don't want to have to move overseas and go through that, like what the Ball guys did, the Ball brothers. I could see the writing was on the wall for something like this to appear.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
because the overseas players they come over and they're so advanced because they're playing with grown men at the age of 16.
Yeah,
They're playing against 30-year-olds, and these kids are playing against other 16 to 18-year-olds.
yeah, and it's just I don't know if people would watch it. That's the thing. I don't know where they'd get the revenue. The
You mean to
NBA
tell me you're not gonna watch some of this college? Well, not even college.
glorified. Well, it'd be.
Watch some of this high school madness.
I
This
love.
high school mayhem.
I do love college hoops, but I don't. I don't watch college hoops because it's the best kind of basketball, or like I'm fine with watching college hoops. Mid-major team play where none of the kids have a chance of going pro. It's fun to watch fundamental basketball and two teams that are pretty equal playing against each other.
Right.
If you're watching,
Akron,
Akron,
form.
yeah, you're watching Akron playing Eastern Michigan. I mean, none of these guys are going to the league, but they're trying really hard.
They're running plays. They're setting
You get some good
picks.
games, and that's what again makes the tournament so great. But the thing is, if you're going to bring in salaries like that, you're going to have to get fans. So I like the idea, though. I do think that somebody needs to stick it to college basketball. And you should have the opportunity to make some money, because even if you get drafted, it doesn't guarantee you might get only one little contract, and that's it.
Exactly. And then these kids can't get paid off. I mean,
Right.
They can't really.
And they can't get paid. Yeah. And it's going to be your top.
I would definitely go. I would. I mean, I'm saying it like I had the chance.
But would you watch this over the G? Have you ever tried to watch the G League?
I watch the G League every now and then, but I mean, I really don't even follow the G League because.
Yeah, of course, the G League is a similar concept, but not so much. It's more of like a feeder system to kind of keep those guys that are much older in shape and to keep their dream alive. And you occasionally get a guy. You occasionally pull a guy from there.
Sometimes the G League is good. It's like a different style of basketball. They're playing for different reasons. It's a little more at stake in the G League.
Keeping it on hoops, another hot mic incident. You believe that?
Oh, man, we love that.
No one's listening to it. Yeah, you'd think people. We try to help you out here on Stream 35 Radio. If you listen to the show, there's no reason. We try to tell you. Assume every camera's on. Assume you're being watched, even when there's not a camera around. And assume every mic is hot.
Hot.
Jay Craig, I know you gave a little preview to something you're working on last weekend.
Yeah, I did.
I had to let you know your mic was hot.
Yeah, you have the text message. Hey man, you got a hot mic. I said, uh-oh.
I didn't want you to be the next viral sensation, although it might help nowadays. But
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I didn't want you to get caught up. Made me nervous.
Made me nervous when you told me I had a hot mic. I had to think about what I had just said. Like, I need to put it down.
And it was Jay Craig's birthday. We forgot to mention that in the open. We won't ask him his age, but happy belated.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
I know that you're looking better for whatever the age it really is, but yeah, man. But back to these hot mics. So this happened in Oklahoma. High school hoops announcer was calling a women's game in Norman, Oklahoma. The national anthem kicks off.
Right.
One of the teams kneel. This kneeling thing is still happening.
It is.
And a couple of seconds in to the national anthem and the kneeling, the play-by-play man, Matt Rowan, he probably won't be doing play-by-play again because he drops an N-bomb towards the kneeling team. But guess what? That's not all. He addressed it.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I don't know if we'll say he owned it, but he
definitely didn't own it. He didn't
he
own
addressed
it.
At all, he halfway owned it. I mean, he said like, yeah. Man,
he acknowledged it.
He acknowledged it.
Own it. He acknowledged that it happened after.
Yeah, this is the craziest. I mean, the fact that he did it, he's going to lose his job.
Do you have the audio of it? Because it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's not amazing, but
I mean, the guy does. The thing kicks off. It's kind of horrible. I mean, you can imagine what he did, but
yeah.
I mean, we've had I don't even think we covered. Did we cover the NBA guy it seems like he's going to lose his gig because he dropped a racial slur on a video game, online video game. So it's happening, you know.
Oh yeah,
But
it's cancel culture.
right, and this guy Matt Rowan
Yeah.
said it was because of his diabetes.
Oh man, can I read his whole like?
He
Apology.
said that the reason he dropped this racial slur was because of his
Yeah.
diabetes.
Yeah, he did.
I have one of his quotes. I do not believe that I would have made such a horrible statement if my blood sugar wasn't spiking.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing here.
Yeah, this press release is ridiculous. if you would allow me to read the
Go ahead, go for it.
Just so the
I
listeners
mean, everybody's got an excuse, but
here
man.
we go. Press release, March 11th, 2021. I, Matt Rowan, on Thursday, March 11th, 2021, most regrettably made some statements that cannot be taken back. During the Norman High School girls basketball game against Midwest City, I made inappropriate and racist comments, believing that the mic was off. However, let me state immediately that this is no excuse. Such comments should have never been uttered. I am a family man. I am married. I have 2 children. And at one time, I was a youth pastor. You know, I continue to be a member of a Baptist church. And I'm not only embarrassed and disappointed myself, but I'm embarrassed and disappointed my family and friends. I will state that I suffer type 1 diabetes. And during the game, my sugar was spiking. Wow. Not excusing my remarks, it is not unusual when my sugar spikes that I become disoriented and often say things that are not appropriate and as well as hurtful. Now, I do not believe that I would have made such a horrible statement absent my blood sugar spiking. See, during this time, I was with a colleague and my friend prior to God was not involved in this at any time, and I acted alone. It is not my desire to shrink my responsibility in this matter, and I certainly do not want Scott to share in the blame on this unfortunate incident. Now, while the comments I made would certainly seem to indicate that I am racist, I am not. I have never considered myself to be racist. And in short, no cannot explain why I made these comments. I offer my most sincere apologies for the inappropriate comments made, and I hope that I can obtain forgiveness. This fool said he's only racist when his sugar is spiking. It's like he made racist comments and then he tried to backpedal with like all the stuff that black people hold on to. Like, I ain't racist. I go to a Baptist church every now and then. Like, I at least go to St. John's Baptist Church every now and then. And I was a youth pastor.
The thing that got me about it, I don't know. When you look at the video, you look down on the sidelines and it's all kinds of colored people kneeling.
Yeah.
So it's obviously just a word he uses.
Oh yeah, that's just how he rolls. Sugar
Yeah.
spiking or not. Like, don't try to blame your type 1 diabetes. Don't try to be like, I know black people have diabetes, so they will understand. Y'all know what it's like when your sugar spiking. You're disoriented, right? You know how it is. I get racist and I need a Snickers.
He was calling a wide array of people that N-bomb. You're listening to the Press Box Party. Get in here if you want. 917-477-7737.
He needs to apologize to diabetes is what he needs to do. Because now they're going to have to put out statements.
Oh, yeah.
Because of this foolishness. Type 1 diabetes does not make you racist. It cannot disorient you in a way to call someone something that they shouldn't be. That means you're just racist and you just happen to have type 1 diabetes.
As we mentioned, it's St. Patrick's Day, if you're listening live.
Oh, yeah.
Antoine here with Jonathan Craig. And Jay Craig, obviously, you're not behind the bar today,
No, sir.
but it's St. Pat's Day. And the usual, as you pointed out, usually a bad day for bartenders. Guess who we got chiming in here?
Who we got?
Mr. Mac, the doorman,
Mr. Mac.
is joining us. And I don't know if we can hear him yet. He might be on.
What's up, party people?
What's up?
What's going on, guys?
So, of course, we're talking about St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
And I know that as a doorman, you've got to experience it many times, although you're not working tonight, we see.
Right. I'm not working. Right here at home like you guys in your own spaces. Is
St. Patrick's Day is not St. Patrick's Day, though. I'll tell you that out here in Manhattan.
Yeah, it's not. It was dead, I bet, out there, right?
Yeah, nothing's going on.
Yeah, well, I enjoy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Irish, too. Last name's McNamara. But I hated working on St. Patrick's Day. It was like the worst for doorman because you got a bunch of these people that don't know how to drink. Jay Craig, I know you could attest to this.
Oh, it's amateur night, man. It's worse. The only thing that's worse is New Year's Eve.
I could probably do even better than that. SantaCon.
Oh God.
Yeah, for those not from New York, SantaCon is pretty bad as well.
It's bad over here. It's bad over in New York City with SantaCon too. But like, on St. Patrick's Day, it's just been crazy because like you got a bunch of these people that are so drunk. They've been drunk since, I don't know, 9 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
And I usually start my shift from 3 to 11 in the afternoon. So like when I come in, they're already completely trashed. So this is one story that I will not forget. I had this dude in the middle of the day. It was still bright outside, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm in the middle of doing my work, minding my own business. And this guy comes down the steps right by the lobby outside, unzips his pants, unzips his zipper, pulls out his penis, and starts to pee.
Whoa.
And I got pissed off while he was doing that. I didn't pay attention because I was working with a tenant. And a tenant in my building was going, oh my God. And I turned around. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? I went out there. He didn't notice me. I kicked him in the butt and he fell on the floor while his dang was hanging out.
Oh, Mr. Mac, the doorman is a gangster.
No, I had to tell him
cleaning
to get the hell
up the
out
streets.
Go somewhere else and fucking, pee and all that stuff, man. Why are you gonna do it on the property? Oh, what the fuck, man? That's what the guy was saying in like his mumble jumble voice. But then I had to kick him out. Oddly enough, the same guy made a bonfire on 2nd Avenue up the block from where I work and got arrested.
This dude had a busy day. This was all in one day?
Yeah, he had a busy day. He didn't have a care in the world. I don't know what was wrong with him. I don't know. But, as you talked about, I was cracking up when I heard the story about the coach that he said his sugar level.
Sugar was spiking.
He wasn't a coach now. He definitely wasn't a coach.
So is this dude trying to create like a diabetes as an excuse to say some slurs and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was trying to use diabetes as an excuse and relate to the black community. He was like trying to throw diabetes in there and the youth pastor. Oh, and I belong to a Baptist church. And let's see what else. There's 2 black people on my bowling team.
Right.
I don't know their names, but they look the same. I can't be racist.
It's impossible.
Not me.
Yeah. So the reason why I hated working on St. Patrick's Day is because some of these guys, not only would they pee in the street, but they would throw up like on the sidewalk, like maybe in front of the building or something like that. And I know all doormen out there have been through this crap where who has to clean up the mess? We do. We have to take the hose, spray the whole damn thing, put it in this place, and that's it. I'm like, nah, get the dude or whoever it is that threw up. Like, yo, you clean up your own shit, okay? But that doesn't happen because they'll do their thing and they'll run away.
Yeah, well, as I was mentioning, having a dog and walking today, it wasn't the same. But when it was, I remember when I first got my little pup, that day walking around, there was vomit everywhere.
Right.
And you got to keep. It's just. I mean,
That's
I'm telling you, it's
ridiculous how that
definitely
used
a
to just
day.
be the norm.
It's definitely a day today that a lot of people don't miss in many
I
different
know
professions.
the sidewalks are thanking the Lord. It's like
Yeah.
2 years ago.
And I bet all
It will
doormen
stay
are doing
clean.
the same thing too, because like I remember over the years, I'm like, oh damn it, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm working. I got to be Hawkeye and be on the lookout for these dumbasses that don't know what they're doing, and they end up hurting themselves too, along the way, figuring out how the hell did I get this,
We got Mr. Mac, the doorman, joining us
Yes,
here on the
sir.
press box party. We might as well get into some of this other stuff going on, unless you
Come on,
guys
man.
got
Let's
do
do
it.
this.
unless you guys got anything else to say about
I got a story.
Drunk
I'll tell you. a
St.
little bit
Patrick's people.
Ooh,
What
tease.
in regards
Yeah.
to what, bartending?
later. Yeah, it started off bartending and almost ended up in jail.
Oh shit, that's a
Wait,
tease.
well, I guess we'll talk some. I guess we'll talk about some criminals, and then we can get to that.
Yeah,
All right,
that'll
but
be.
before you do,
Also, the
be
phone
accurate.
lines are open. I'm sorry. I think we might have missed a couple calls there when we
Uh-oh.
introed
Okay. Oh, we
Mr.
got
Mac the
calls.
doorman. Not 917-477-7737. If you tried to call in, try to call back, and we'll get you in.
All is back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, call
Sorry
us
about
back.
that.
And
I
Jay
think
Craig,
we
happy
missed a
belated
couple.
birthday, brother.
Well,
Thank
That's
you,
what I
brother. I
wanted to say.
appreciate that.
21.
All right.
Congratulations, man.
So-
You can drink
Feels
again.
good to be 21.
So changing some gears here to some of the odd news stories for the week. A couple of heists took place. When do they not take place? A couple of heists
love a
took
good
place
heist,
that we
man.
need to talk about.
So-
Some of them were online, some of them in classrooms, and some of them were at car dealerships and things like that. But we'll start off in Florida, our favorite place, where a daughter and a mother got busted in basically a homecoming hack. Laura Rose Carroll, 50 years old, was an assistant principal at a high school in Pensacola. And her daughter, who is 15, was enrolled there. And they were charged with using school computers, logging onto the system, and basically conspiring to steal the homecoming queen vote, the election.
Wow.
They actually succeeded. The daughter won.
Of course.
So,
She had that principal power behind her.
yeah. I mean, they went in. I think this is like something you would see on Saved by the Bell, isn't it?
I mean, back then they would just steal. They would steal the box of.
Right. No computers
Just
used.
in the box.
Yeah.
And
The
just
ballot
everything.
box.
Right. The only
So,
question I have.
they found out both of them, had access to the portal and filled in a bunch of fake votes.
Yeah, because they all
Wow.
came from the same IP address.
Yeah.
That's because these idiots don't know how technology works. We're gonna steal. No, you're not.
Well, was the mother and daughter Russian?
No, they
They
got
were
away
not.
with it. They were.
They probably got away with it, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't even be news.
But yeah, man.
Wow, man.
Homecoming hack. That's what it's come down to.
Man, is that what it comes down to? You got to hack your way into the homecoming queen.
And she won.
Well,
You
that's
just
the
can't
thing.
go,
That's the
like,
messed
rape
up thing
somebody
about
and
it.
do
So the damage is already done. Like you could strip her of the crown, but she went through the whole process and
They
got
took the-
crowned
they
and
took the
everything. So
pictures,
whoever
it's
got
gonna be the
whoever got
yearbook.
second got robbed. It's
Yeah.
like when the NCAA strips somebody in their national title because they did some cheating. Well, what's the point? They already did
Yeah.
all celebration and everybody went on
Yeah.
their way.
The T-shirts have already been sold.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
they
had
happened in
that.
baseball too with the signs and everything too, right? There was something.
No,
that
they didn't
happened,
get stripped of their title. Just some people got.
but they didn't get
suspended.
stripped of the title.
But yeah, it sucks for people. Looking on the chat here, March Madness is hitting our listeners. People are giving Duke a hard time. Hashtag Duke. Duke is not in the NCAA tournament. First time since, I think, 95, maybe.
Wow.
Wow.
It's going to be a different tournament.
That's,
And so far, they're doing the bubble thing out there in your home state of Indiana.
yeah,
Jay
man, they're
Craig.
locking the whole state down, man.
Yep.
There'll be some good
No
revenue
fans at
for
all,
the
right?
state.
They're going to have
They're probably gonna do
25%.
like-
Yeah,
25%.
25% fans. And some of those arenas, they're playing in like in Bloomington where IU plays, it's only like that would only consist of a couple hundred fans to 25%. But the bigger places, they'll have some fans.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be mostly family and that sort of thing. But they
Or the highest bidders.
they're selling individual tickets so they don't like flood the market, and you kind of got to go there in person to get the ticket, from what I'm hearing. But it'll be different. It's not going to be very loud.
Oh no.
All right.
Should be some people there.
Moving now to our next heist. Heist. You're listening to Press Box Party, 917-477-7737. If you want to step in.
What's up?
Dating
What's up
apps.
now?
We haven't had dating app stories in a while. This one is real interesting. It's in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Luis Santos, 22, robbed men on Tinder dates with his girlfriend. I think they might have used some other apps. Kirsten Gross, 23. So him and his girlfriend got together, created profiles for Kirsten, would set up dates with guys. Then the boyfriend would show up and rob the dates at knife point. Santos faces 4 years in jail for this. And I can't recall if we'd had similar stories, but I'm telling you, guys, just like girls, you need to be careful on the old dating apps.
Yeah, man. Look around all the corners. Girls be setting you up.
Because you don't know who you're talking to. Although I saw another story come out today that came in kind of late. One of the apps, I can't remember if it was Tinder. I think it might have been Tinder. They said they're going to start doing background checks.
Background checks for a dating site?
Yeah,
Wow.
like you're going to have to get approved. I mean,
yeah, have you ever jumped out the bushes with on a knife on somebody? Yes.
Well, I
no?
just think there's probably a lot more incidents like this happening that we don't hear about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that story is like a modern day Bonnie
anybody
and Clyde.
can. It sounds to me like anybody could create whatever and make up whatever. It's. I guess when you're in a bigger city like New York, you're a little more protected probably because you're meeting people in crowded areas.
Yeah, but there's still a
But
paper
imagine,
trail, though.
Yeah.
Because you got to use something. That's what they got IP addresses, and they know at some point they're gonna find you.
Yes.
Right.
Especially with those kind of apps.
Yeah, they'll track you down.
Let's see, we got some listeners coming in late on MixLR. If you want to see the YouTube stream, it's just go to YouTube and put in probably put in Press Box Party, but just put in Stream 35 Radio, no spaces. And if you want to watch the stream, we've got Mr. Mac the Doorman. I'm Antoine. I'm with Jay Craig, breaking down some of the odd stories of the week.
Yeah.
Another heist here. Texas.
I like
man.
the word heist, man. It makes it feel so illegal. Like,
man, we're really getting into it tonight.
Like there should be some masks, like the bandana mask and some ponies.
This is a unique one right here. This one's really unique. A Texas man went to a car dealership, basically test drove a car.
Okay.
Right.
While on the test drive, goes to a bank, robs it. Goes back to the dealership with the money that he obtained from the robbery.
Hey guys, want to pay for this car.
And buys the car.
I got money. You want to know how?
Again,
Would you like to know?
like our other two criminals here were in Florida and in Massachusetts. He got caught. Somebody was quick.
So how do you roll? Like, there's so many questions.
He came back waving cash around. Yeah, he paid it off in cash.
First of all,
just let him go. They just let him hop in the car by himself with no assistance,
a Beamer,
no
less.
employee.
Yeah.
You just jump in the Beamer and you just roll off, and nobody's in the car with him.
No.
Then he goes to the bank. You know what? I like this car. I think I need this car.
What was this guy's pregame before going to the car dealer?
That was the pregame. Like, I'm gonna roll up. If they give me the car, we'll roll the dice. I'm gonna just go to the bank, and if they give me the money,
he rolled snake eyes, all right.
I'm gonna go back to the dealership to see if I can get the car. He didn't really think it through,
right?
But I like this heist story.
Redonkulous, man.
I mean, this dude is getting 20 years though. Maybe he
Oh
should have
yeah,
thought this
yeah,
a little bit more.
yeah. This was probably not worth the pull at all.
No, man, this ain't a DMX video, bro. You can't just show it
There's
with
a,
all
there's a
cash,
lot.
throw it on top of the Ferrari, and be like, "I want this."
Yeah, as far as a robbery heist, there were a lot of layers to this one. You're not going to pull this one off.
This is what
This
happens when you
definitely
watch
do not
too
try
many,
at home category.
too many action videos, too many action movies and hip hop videos. That's his problem right there. What happened? Can't be ride or die all the time.
Yeah,
I wonder what movie he watched right before he got to watch a collection of films to get you hyped for this, because that's a lot going on. There's car theft, there's bank robberies, then there's riding through the streets recklessly. This is a good collection of movies this guy's got to watch before.
Yep.
I have one that he probably did watch, The Italian Job.
Yeah,
guys
That's a good one. Yeah,
I
actually was just trying to think of one. Kept thinking of Dead Presidents, but no, I think that's the one I was.
Italian
thinking.
Job
Yeah.
is probably a better choice.
He probably threw a little bit of the town in there.
Yeah.
That's a good bank robbery movie.
And he ends up with 20 years in prison.
Yeah.
Yep, just like that. And no Beamer.
Real life sets in.
Maybe it should be a cameo appearance by the guy who had his sugar level go up to high levels and just embarrass
He
himself.
could have been like, "Look, I didn't mean to steal this car. My sugar was spiking. My
Diabetes.
sugar spikes. I
Diabetes.
think I'm an action hero.
Diabetes
When my
made me
sugar
do it.
spikes, I think I'm an action actor. And I thought I was running lines. I didn't try to steal this car.
And then Wilford Brimley comes in and talks about diabetes all over again.
No.
Yep, exactly.
So as places try to start opening back up. Oh, I was going to ask you, Jonathan Craig.
Yes,
Jay
sir.
Craig, of course, comedian. What's the deal with comedy clubs? I saw something where they're opening, or is that just a dirty rumor? Or is that really happening?
I haven't heard anything like.
I don't know.
close
Here
as-
in New York, I think
Yeah.
maybe in other
Yeah.
places.
because in order to, you still have to serve food. I think.
I was just going to say a 25% comedy
And
club is
have
not.
you ever had food at a comedy club?
Yeah,
before?
it's just you get it because you have to. It's like part of the deal.
Yeah, that's the real joke right there. You don't want to eat none of that stuff.
Plus, you can't
yeah,
have a
I-
25% full comedy club and make money, right?
No, man, that's not fun for anybody.
Right.
It's like 7 people in there because they really
Right. They're
overpack those things.
tight,
A lot of
especially
those-
here in New York. They're
A
really
lot of them
tight.
are really small.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
know.
the space is compacted.
Yeah,
It's like somebody's studio apartment. Like, oh man,
I know a lot of states are shooting for April to get some kind of normalcy going, and California actually put out a thing today that I saw that they're going to add something. They want to get their theme parks open back up, and one of the guidelines they want to add: no screaming on roller coasters and thrill rides.
what are you supposed to do?
Six Flags Magic Mountain, Knott's Berry Farm, and Disneyland are looking to add new warning signs at the entrances to their roller coasters and thrill rides at California theme parks when they reopen on April 1st.
No screaming.
No screaming.
What's the point of getting on a thrilling ride
be
if
a
you
part-
can't be thrilled? Like you're
Of
supposed to sit there
all-
like,
That don't make any sense.
have you ever tried to ride on the roller coaster and not scream? Is the most depressing shit of all time. I did it once as a kid. I was like, I ain't gonna scream. I rode in the front.
Try to be a tough
And I
guy.
waited like an hour to get in the front, so I couldn't scream, and it was boring. It was because the fun is the screaming, is the letting go and like being afraid.
Yeah.
Supposed to go to a theme park where you're like, nah, it's just up and down some hills.
How can there be silence at a theme park? That don't make any sense.
That's a depressing theme
rides.
park.
Thrill rides are a form of expression, right? So like when you go up King Ka at Six Flags and you go down, you're gonna go, no, you're not. You're
Yep,
not
that's what it's gonna happen.
the hell is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is our new world we're living in.
Yeah, man, that's true.
The silent theme parks. Man.
Silent
Even so.
theme parks.
I still don't understand how some of these outdoor areas are considered out. I mean, here in New York, we built just houses outside that are more
yeah, we'll build it.
that are more that are more people on top of each other than if you just had them inside.
And some of them are better looking than the actual restaurants themselves.
Oh, well.
True.
Yeah.
We won't I mean, some cases probably, but
Yeah.
you know, when you're trying to go to a steakhouse and they got one of those things, that's kind of odd.
Mm.
You mean you don't like to sit outside and eat your
Yeah, like
steak
all
in
up
the winter? You
against
don't wanna,
against a like a subway entrance.
yeah, and some plastic.
No,
You don't want to do
plastic.
that?
But yeah,
You don't want to be up against that
see
plexiglass in
we'll
30
see how
degree weather?
things continue to play out here, but it is definitely still to this day some really weird times.
Yep.
Really
Oh, yeah.
weird times.
It's just getting weirder the longer it happens.
You listen to the Press Box Party as we wind things down here. You still get a chance to call in 917-477-7737. Trying to think. There was
If you guys got any crazy
something that
St. Patty's Day stories that you want to call and tell us about,
any topics
feel free.
you want to talk about
free.
St. Patty's
The
stories.
crazier, the better. If you ended up in jail, we'd love to hear about that.
And create an Irish drinking song from it.
Yeah. If you woke up somewhere you wasn't supposed to, we're interested in that too.
What's the deal with green beer, man?
You don't like green beer?
I never understood it. Look, we got a call coming in. Hold on a second.
Oh, come on.
Who's coming in?
Let's see who's calling in here. You are on Press
Hello,
Box
gentlemen.
Party. Who we talking to?
What's up, gentlemen? This is Dre from Flushing, Queens.
What's up, Dre?
All right.
What's up?
Flushing.
What's up? What's up? What's up, Mr. Craig?
What's up? What's up?
What do you want to talk about?
All right. This is off the. Well, one thing I want to say: the G League. I haven't watched one game of the G League,
Yeah.
but I do watch the NBA a lot, though. So I want to throw my little 2 cents on that.
Word.
Do you think you would watch? Hold on, Dre. Do you think you would watch this like younger G League thing where the guys are a little more like, you know, beasts? Like obviously supposed to be playing at Division I colleges. So would you give it a try or no?
I definitely would not try. No.
Yeah. What if you could bet on
I
it?
wouldn't.
Would that make a difference?
No. Well, let me tell you this, man.
Yeah.
I bet a lot recently, right? I'm hard into FanDuel, right? So some weeks I'm good, some weeks I'm bad, right? So the other day there was an over/under for Lonzo Ball, right? It was like 3 nights ago. His over/under on assist was over 6.5, right?
Right.
So I did the over, right? And he ended up with 5 assists, right? This was like 3 nights ago. And then last night when I didn't bet, the over/under was over 6.5, and he got 17 assists last night. So that's my luck right there for that one.
Wow. No, I'm noticing though that this is a big trend going on that I got to talk about because NBA has always been hard to bet on when you're doing like the game because you don't know what team's going to show up and the over-unders are always all over the place. But yeah, this seems to be the new thing. Like people are really loving the props. And I think you can get some good
props, bro. That's the way
you
to
can
go.
get some good ones. It's true. I started tracking some of them, and some of them are way off, like these point totals. And if you know the matchup, the only thing I think that sometimes it's tough to call if the game's a blowout. They might rest. They might rest the guy, right?
That's my brother. You got it right on. The blowouts is what's killing the betting because and the players don't play. That's it.
Yeah.
They sit, and then you need a player to reach either assists, points, or rebounds, and it won't happen.
Right.
And that's crazy.
Well, I don't know though. And that was the thing I was saying. If these if they build this league up and get a good TV deal and factor in betting and market it well, maybe people will show up. But I don't. You definitely should probably have it
and factor in a lot of betting.
Yeah, I just know people don't go to the G League games like Dre was saying. They don't. They're hardly on TV, and it's tough to generate interest. But I also feel for the kids because it's either college or nothing, and the college situation kind of sucks for a lot of guys.
True, you can make $100,000 here.
Yeah. So I'm loving the show, guys. I mean, you guys got a new listener, me.
Good.
Good, man. It's good to hear you, Dre.
Every
I appreciate
Wednesday,
you calling in, bro.
Yeah, we'll have more content too. So glad to have you on. And we're always down to talk some gambling and hear some crazy stories.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't want to say bad beats.
Yeah.
I want to hear about some crazy wins.
Yeah, I mean, I hit look, a couple of weeks ago, I needed a LaMelo Ball to hit a 3, right? This was like a month ago, and he hits a 3 at the end of the game. They lost the game, but I needed him to hit the 3.
You got the
and he hit
garbage.
the 3, and
You got the
I
garbage
was at my
bucket.
boy's crib, and we were jumping up. We were like, yeah, we were
Garbage
going nuts.
I'm
man.
telling you, man, everybody, and this is especially if you ever go to a Vegas sports book, everybody's watching a different game. Everybody's,
It is, it is.
everybody's watching a different game. They got a different bet. But I always hate that they call like the segments they show on TV like the bad beats, because every bad beat there's an amazing win behind it as well.
Oh, for
Somebody's
sure.
on
You
the
already
other
know that.
side.
That's
Yeah,
so true.
yeah.
True.
All right,
Listen
man.
to
Well,
you.
thanks for
All right.
checking in.
Thank you for taking the time,
Great,
and
thanks
keep
for checking
listening.
in,
Thanks
bro.
a lot, bro.
All right.
For checking in.
We'll talk to you
Cool.
later.
Yo, G. Craig, God bless, and keep it up. Good
Thanks,
work, fellas.
man.
All right,
I
man.
appreciate
All
you,
right,
Dre.
guys. Later.
Bye, no problem. Later.
Cheers.
So that was Dre in Flushing. I didn't ask him if he's a
Yeah.
Met fan.
Let's take it. Let's.
That's Met
Let's-
territory. I know. I didn't want to
Our
get him in a
fans
bad.
in
I didn't want to
before we
get him in a
start
bad.
losing them.
I
You
didn't,
just got it.
I didn't want to get him in a bad mood.
Come on. Like, man, I used to like this show.
He's like,
until they
wow,
started
until you
asking me
reminded me that I was a
personal
Met fan.
questions. Put me on blast.
Glad you didn't do it then, brother.
Put my business
There's
out the
Yankee
street like
there's
this.
Yankee fans out in Queens too. You can't just assume, you know.
True.
But
Very true.
yeah, I'm telling you, he's representing like a very new generation of bettors that, because they play fantasy, and now you can just like pick one guy on a night and put money on him. Say that's your fantasy guy, and you can say he's going to have.
My fantasy guy.
No, you could say he's going to have more than, you could take like a middle of the road guy where he's, over under is like 5.5 points. And you're like, oh, Draymond Green's going to have 5.5 points tonight. But
That's
the thing
about all
is,
he's done
he'll
all the
come
time.
out. He'll come out of the gates with a 3 and like 2 free throws. You're like, oh, all I need is one more bucket. I'm good. Then he doesn't score the rest of the game.
Yep. That sounds like Draymond Green. You said 5 points. I was like, that's not
Or he
it.
gets
That's not
hurt
gonna
or
get you.
something,
Yeah.
rolls an ankle.
Rejected or
But
kick somebody. Who knows?
well, with March Madness coming up, I was going to tell our listeners there will be a show around that, trying to gather some info and get you prepared for the first round. I know the first 4 start tomorrow night, so we'll be looking to have something around
bracket.
that.
You're giving us
Madness,
the bracket?
baby.
Come on.
Not as big on the brackets, but got to at least give some good first round picks, because there are some underdogs that might not win, but the point spreads are going to be a little off. There always are. And
Giving us those insider tips.
oh yeah, I've been following it close. It's like, after NFL gets over, what else? And I don't really watch NBA until it's playoff time.
Yeah, I don't
and,
start until after the All-Star game.
As our caller just pointed out, it's tough to pick games in that world, because they get, not every game means something.
Yeah.
But now in the NCAA tournament, you got a whole different beast going.
Oh yeah, every game.
For sure.
Every game.
So yeah, St. Patty's Day is going to be in the books here, and yeah, if anybody wants to share any stories, there might be some people out partying right now. I was thinking about that going on air at this time, but might be some people having house parties and that kind of thing. You
Could
could.
be. That's
Let's
better.
Let's just start calling random
Nice.
people up. Hey man,
Just
y'all
dial
over there
them.
partying? You guys over there doing? Huh? You got some green beer over there? We love green beer. Well, Antoine don't like green
No,
beer.
I don't do green. Well, I'm just not a big beer guy to begin with, so.
What about some green
Green-
tequila?
Okay. Well, you can make anything green, right? What is the process of the green beer? They just put the dye in. Do you put it in
That's it.
That's the
after you
upside.
pour it, or you put it in the keg? What do you do
Let's put it in there, a couple drops. Bloop, bloop.
after you pour the beer?
That's
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Simple.
otherwise you ruin the whole keg, and then
Yeah, there's no
you're gonna
need
have to
ruin
sell
the
it at
whole
discount.
keg.
Yeah, on Thursday.
Now you're selling green beer and it's July. You're trying to explain why you got green beer and it's Independence Day. And it's just weird, you know?
I know. Well, Jameson's probably losing a lot of money.
I don't know. I don't feel like Jameson's ever losing.
Jameson's still
money.
going.
You know what I
No,
mean?
I'm just
People
saying, it's
stocked
a
up
big
on
day.
Jameson won the. Yeah, but Jameson been winning the whole pandemic. People love Jameson.
Yeah, I mean overall,
They
I know
they
the
bought a
alcohol home sales have went through the roof.
Oh yeah, during lockdown, when lockdown first started, as you know, the deliveries were popular, and nonstop alcohol content coming in, and I've seen quite a few Jameson bottles. So Jameson, if you're here in the press box party right now, you can use this as a segue to promote your.
You better cut us a check, Jameson. I don't even drink you that much.
Yeah, but a lot of
You have
people
to cut a real nice check.
alcohol, so it was just nonstop. And Jameson was one of the popular things. Jameson, wine, vodka, and whiskey.
Oh, yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sitting around drinking tequila in the house. You ain't got nothing to do.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Some people, like, during this time, they were so stressed out, they use things like tequila, for example. I have a story which I could leave for later on of this one tenant who was completely stressed out working from home because they were not used to working from home. And it was an older tenant, too. So, like, you know how it was. Everything was going like this. And then all of a sudden, when the lockdown happened, it went like that. So, like, things changed.
Yeah. And we got some of our listeners. I see Cuccarelli just chimed in. He just had a shot at JMO.
I don't know about that.
So enjoy the rest of your St. Patty's night.
Yeah.
Glad you could join us. We'll be on next Wednesday. Remember, if you want to listen live, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you missed any portion of the show, just go to mixlr.com/stream35radio, and you could go to the show reels and listen to the whole thing. And you can also go to YouTube on our Stream 35 radio channel, and we'll have the whole thing there too. Got to say thanks to Mr. Mac the Doorman dropping by.
Yes, sir.
Also
Always
got
a pleasure, brother.
Jay Craig, good seeing you.
Always good to see you too, man.
And we will do it again next week. Stay safe out there if you're out and about. And we'll talk to you soon. If you guys want to keep up with the station, you got some things you want us to cover, hit us up on Twitter at Stream35Radio. I'm Antoine. We are out. Peace.
Later.
Streetman 35, everything alive, baby. Press